10th Planet Austin.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to 10P ATX Radio. I'm here with my guest today, Coach Micahl Craig at The Stranger MMA, leader of the Zombie Squad, right there at the top of the Bay Muay Thai ATX Mountain, holding it down with us. How you doing, man? How you doing, man?
Good. What's up, folks? What's up, world?
Definitely wanted to bring Micahl on the show, the radio show, to introduce him because if you come to the Audit Academy, if you experience martial arts at the Audit Academy, you're going to see Coach Micahl. If you're willing to get up early, if you want to get up and go to Zombie Squad, which was my life for seemed like forever, and train jiu-jitsu at 7 a.m., you're going to run into Micahl. And if you're here at Bay Muay Thai at 6 a.m., you're also going to see Micahl. And he's one of these guys who's taken on both of the programs and just ran with them. He's the guy that's got the 10P warm-ups down, the Bay Muay Thai flows down. He does it all. He's super badass. And, man, I'm stoked to have you at the Audit Academy and have you on the show today. And I'm stoked to also learn more about your martial arts career. I mean, I've known you for a while and talked to you a lot and watched you progress as a jiu-jitsu player, but you have a lot of experience prior to being here. And let's hear about it, man. Where did you get your start in martial arts, and what are you all about?
Well, me and my sister started in karate, kind of typical.
Nice.
There's a black belt academy in Houston.
How do you say it? Karate.
Karate.
Yeah, let's get it right. Respect.
Yeah, respect. Much respect. Yeah, just did that as my sport, I guess.
How old?
I believe I was like a 10 or 11, thereabout.
You still hit those karate stances too, man.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's instilled in me for sure. That kind of wide stance, shuffling. But I mean, that was a good base to start out. I liked a lot of the traditional martial arts. So eventually, when I started playing, I was kind of a session guitar player for this band, Habitants in Houston, and the drummer and the other guitar player, the lead guitar player, they were brothers, and they trained down at Leonardo Xavier. He's a Gracie jiu-jitsu guy.
So there's some bandmates that did jiu-jitsu?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
They had
That's
mats.
how you got introduced?
Yeah. Rolling around, got heel hooked, and I was like, I'm stuck.
You got hooked by getting heel hooked?
Correct.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And this was 10 years old, karate.
Yeah.
How far did you progress in your point fighting?
I went to blue belt, and it was just all local. I didn't progress too far.
How old?
It was about, I think, like 15, thereabouts.
All right. And then you found the wonderful evil world of music.
Yes, 100%. Got really deep into that. Went to school for just Berkeley online courses to be a better guitar player, to learn the music theory behind it.
And music led you to jiu-jitsu.
100%.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Just playing in a band, and I was already intrigued by martial arts, so that was just...
So you were in a band with other jiu-jitsu athletes at one point.
Yeah.
And you weren't the jiu-jitsu player.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got heel hooked.
Yeah.
And now you're like, man, what is this game you guys are playing with me? I want to learn more about it.
Yeah. So, I kind of bounced around some schools, because my job took me around Texas, all the way.
What were you doing at the time?
I was working for Guitar Center, and I was like actually revamping their stores.
Nice.
Just kind of moving up to Amarillo, to Killeen, to here, down in Houston, and just kind of like reimaging.
So you were visiting
stuff.
Different schools, checking it out.
Yes. And back in Houston, it was I started doing gi jiu-jitsu under Eric Williams, elite MMA down there in Houston on Westheimer, and moved. And then up in Amarillo, there was an elite MMA up there. I don't know if they're affiliated with each other, but like I took some like Muay Thai up there. There was I think Guto Campos student was.
What year are we talking about?
This was about I would say 6 years ago.
So
was my journey into jiu-jitsu.
Who was the champ of the UFC? That was probably the Iceman.
6 years ago.
Iceman was huge.
Yeah.
Chuck Liddell. The
Yeah.
MMA, the schools were different back then. The MMA vibe was a little bit different.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you went from doing karate, got into music, got heel hooked.
Yeah.
Started traveling around going to gyms, but you maintained some striking.
Yes.
You did Muay Thai here and there.
Yes.
And then you were doing jiu-jitsu at a couple of different spots.
Yeah, there was a Glory fighter who doesn't fight for Glory anymore, Chris Trammell, Head Trauma Trammell.
Okay.
And Cody Pfister, trained up there.
I got you.
And then eventually I made my way down here.
I remember training. I trained at a Militich in Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a while.
Pat Militich. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, never got to do that. But
so who'd you get your blue belt under?
actually, that was so when I came down here, I was doing only gi at William Vandry's, which
That's
is
what I thought. It was an Austin blue belt, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is a Carlos Machado black belt.
Nice.
So just
Vandry produced quad a few good guys, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the local Vandry belts. There's quite a few guys around here.
Yeah.
All studs.
For sure. Yeah. I see. So.
And that's where you maintain your striking game as well, huh?
Yeah. And actually, Steve Maeda, he was there.
Yeah.
He was striking with me in the early days.
Steve Maeda was striking?
Oh, yes.
Those of you who don't know Steve, I'm sure you will eventually, but I didn't realize he struck.
Dude, he was a beast. Like, he would get up
That's pretty
and
cool.
we do the same thing. It was like, 6 a.m. and we're going through like some Jeet Kune Do like training.
Yeah.
And using sticks.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, he does ice baths. He does
Yeah.
all the extreme shit. So
Yeah. No different.
Wim Hof and
Yeah.
all that. Steve's a really cool guy.
Yeah.
Can't wait to share him with you all.
For sure.
If you don't already know him. So then you end up at 10 Plant Austin.
Okay. Yes.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
You were one of the first guys here, one of the hardcore zombie squatters, and you made a commute, man. You're not coming from like down the street.
No.
No, you're driving quite a ways to get here every day.
Yeah.
And that's a huge honor. I'm flattered by it. You know what I'm saying? Like, always had mad respect for it. But that almost got too much for a while there. Like with the work and all that, you're like,
Sure. Yeah.
you like every other competitive athlete, and particularly martial artist, struggles with, is this going anywhere? Is this kind of moving? And I remember you went through a phase where you're kind of like, I don't know if I really want to.
Is that
pushing the pedal?
Blue belt curse?
The blues.
Oh man, it's true.
I remember there was a shift though. We started talking about it, and you suddenly made a change and doubled down on your efforts, and then the opportunity opened up so that you could eventually start teaching. So your struggle of getting up at 5 a.m. and driving here to train suddenly became a revenue stream.
Oh,
and that's kind of a flip switching in your life, huh?
Oh, for sure. I sent you like those pictures, and just saying I was inspired. That's when I went to go see Jolly.
Yeah.
And kind of in that moment, he lost, but if you can come back from something like that, and I know he trains hard, and he's just such an awesome fighter.
Daniel
awesome
Jolly,
dude.
if you guys don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
He's on the upcoming Contender Series, the UFC show.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he was a huge inspiration. He was a big part of our team. He's now at ATT, but he's still a part of our team. Huge part of us.
100%.
So
yeah.
That's cool to hear.
Yeah, just drew inspiration from that, and just
came back hard. Started competing. Won purple belt division in the On It World Open. That was fairly heavily contested. All you guys had really tough matches.
Strong purple belts. Nice.
And then the next weekend, so you built up to the On It World Open, had a great competition then, all while coaching. And then the next weekend you fight a Muay Thai smoker.
That was fun. Yeah.
And smash at that one. That was a bunch of nice head kicks and some great crosses.
Gotta love that. The more I can throw kicks, the more.
And then obviously your path is MMA. You want to pursue that.
Yeah.
I personally believe that you have a tremendous future in that. If you guys have never rolled with Micahl or sparred with Micahl, he's incredibly athletic. He feels like he's made out of some other material than human flesh. He's got like an exoskeleton, adamantium, maybe something like that. Possibly like an insect or reptilian underneath human skin. I'm not quite sure, but he's super good at bringing. He's hard to tap, almost impossible to tap, and he's got crazy offense. So the moment you relax, he's on top of something. But also he can be the lightest and most delicate training partner. So he's probably one of the best athletes we have to work with the females. Help really bring up the game of all the girls. So thankful for that, man.
Thank you.
Really appreciate that. But his jiu-jitsu is murder, but his striking, I think, he'll even say he thinks is better. You feel like that's starting to even out, or?
Yeah, the Bang Muay Thai system is such a good mirror to how you set up the 10th Planet system. I love the way it's broken down into really being distinct on naming the transitions. And not just, here's what the submission is, here's what the...
Yeah, our flow work helps people understand the transition game, and that's something lacking if you just do a piecemeal.
Yeah, just the number one question is like, how do I start? Well, let's start with a flow. Let's start putting pieces
together. Here's an entry.
Yeah. Different looks.
And like I said before, Micahl's one of the few guys that can combine, he has competence in both the Bang Muay Thai and 10 Planet system. So expect to see the merger of that in his future martial arts career. So he's going to clearly do more jiu-jitsu tournaments, definitely do more Muay Thai smokers, but providing Dana White doesn't destroy the 125 division.
What the fuck?
Yeah. We're pushing Micahl. I firmly believe Micahl has the ability to compete in that. Obviously, Mighty Mouse is the best on the fucking planet, and you're not trying to talk shit to him.
Oh, no, but, no, sir.
But you want to start climbing in that direction, and I'm super stoked to support you in that. But martial arts, like you said before, wasn't your first love, and like so many great martial artists, music is kind of the foundation of your life. Eddie Bravo, obviously, is right there with you. A couple of days ago we had Jacob Harris. He's more focused on music. Every time I turned around, the kid was fucking programming songs and shit like that.
Nice.
Tell me more about what you do in music, how it inspires your martial arts, and talk about music. Let's hear about this.
It's very therapeutic for me. It's a way to relax. That's the biggest thing. Now, more ambitious, back then to be like, the best guitar player, the best technician as a guitar player. So no different from how I put it together with jiu-jitsu. I like putting like puzzle pieces together, and now they kind of complement each other because I can see better blueprints of how I can move. And
you're getting very Matt Horwich on us.
Yeah.
Right.
Flutter across a fretboard with knowing patterns. So they help each other, and that, I don't know, just calms me down.
Interesting.
I like that.
So flowing in jiu-jitsu, flowing in music, they're synonymous.
Yes. So I'm a guitar player, if I didn't mention that. Kind of started a little bit on piano, but wasn't really into it. My mom had an upright piano from my grandfather, and learned basic stuff on that, and then got into guitar because my uncle is a horn player.
A horn player?
Yeah, he's a sax player.
Nice. Like blues and shit, or what?
Oh yeah, and guitar. He plays multiple instruments, mainly blues and jazz, and that's
so it's in the DNA. It's in the family.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you were in a couple bands.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you guys make? And who were these bands? Like, you told me a couple of them are still in it, still going on, huh?
There's a great band from Houston, and they do shows here in Austin. Carry the Storm.
Carry the Storm.
I highly recommend. Just amazing. Kind of start. It was a different name. I think it was Melody and Murder or something like that.
Sounds like some good stuff.
Yeah, power metal. So
power metal.
Well, not to like narrow it down.
Empowerment metal. That's
yeah, there you go. Nice. But that was a band that I was in after I was in the band Habitants, and there was a band that I started, Asylum, and we just played local shows, nothing huge.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to school online to teach, but I just didn't end up liking teaching. So now it's just kind of a therapeutic thing.
Yeah.
So.
You still play quite a bit with locally, like you get jam sessions, like all musicians. It seems like.
Yeah, I mean, because I work with a lot of
Yeah.
musicians, so.
And are you still with guitar?
What's that?
Are you still with Guitar Center?
No. I actually
No.
work for a family-owned business here.
Nice.
So.
All music though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
And you're just surrounded by musicians, so it's easy to get to jam with people.
One of my favorite things to talk about is conspiracies, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking earlier about metal and the roots of metal, and we were talking about maybe like who might control the rap industry and maybe the motives behind the control in the rap industry.
Sure.
And then when I brought up like, man, I wonder who controls the metal industry. You talked about how the roots of metal go back to Scandinavia.
In my opinion, yeah.
Where a lot of the people were anti-Christian. And so then I thought, man, no one really runs metal except these crazy Scandinavians, huh?
In my opinion,
Yeah. And
they probably have the biggest, most extreme influence,
Interesting, man. Yeah, music's a very interesting tool. You know what I mean? You can like make people feel a lot of different ways with music.
Literally a voice.
Yeah, exactly.
So
look into music conspiracies.
For sure.
They're pretty creepy.
Look into Mayhem, Gorgoroth.
Yeah,
all that stuff. And
these guys were so serious about their Christian oppression, protest, that you were saying if one of the band members.
Yeah, I forget, but I think he killed.
He beheaded.
Just nastiness, yeah.
Because he doubted the loyalty of the dude, huh?
Yeah. But
see, rappers think they're hard.
Yeah, and they're burning churches too.
They're not like beheading fellow rappers.
No, I don't think so.
To show that, I'm glad. I mean,
maybe a drive-by.
We don't need to take it to that level, I think.
Yeah. And I think he had like pieces of his skull too, like.
Oh, he wore it around, like he was arrogant about it.
Yeah, and he was like kind of like, you see the videos of him like kind of smirking.
This guy's in jail.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's like a heavy metal documentary that I watched.
It's the best way to get your news, guys.
Yes.
YouTube documentaries.
Yes. And they just kind of go through these interviews, and it's pretty epic what they do to fight the oppression of Christianity in their country. They're just full on Vikings. So
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So like the Minnesota Vikings has kind of a different feel for some people.
Yeah.
It could be kind of a secret Christian protest team.
It may be.
Interesting. What do we got coming up, man? We got Bay Muay Thai Austin. We got a Gaston.
Yes, August 12th.
August 12th, Gaston.
Dream Killer.
He's the Dream Killer. He's also the lead star of Beauty and the Beast. He's a babe of a man. Right?
I don't know.
Gaston.
Oh, yeah. I was like, where are you going with this?
It's May, June, I'm sorry, what is it?
August 12th.
August 12th here at the On It Academy. If you're listening live right now, tomorrow there's the Kumite. So Bruce Seck, everybody's favorite jiu-jitsu dad, is putting on Kumite. I'm not sure what number we're at now, but it features some blue belts. All the blue belts, you're complaining there was no gi. There wasn't a gi tournament, so we put a gi tournament on, and none of the gi guys turned up. So now it's a no gi tournament. He hit me up a couple days ago. We got Roman and Steve Maeda, who we talked about earlier, on that card. So we're going to be down in Houston for that. But earlier that day in Houston, there's also the Battlegrounds tournament, in which I got a couple studs competing and future queens in the Salgado family. They're going to crush. So it'll be tomorrow morning if you're in Houston, Battlegrounds for the kids tournaments, and then get your way over to Ground Dwellers and check out Roman and Steve Maeda and the rest of the Blue Belt Savages in the Kumite, which is an EBI rules, submission only. And it's not Blue Belt rules. It's all submissions, twisters, heel hooks, toe holds, tap early, fellas. It's a Blue Belt tournament. There's a little bit of money on the line, but not that much money. Not worth the pain and suffering of not being able to walk or having a broken bone or a torn ligament.
For sure.
You don't want that shit. And then coming up in Austin, Dude, there's always some cool stuff going on. I'm not even going to say what's happening. You just have to wait and see. And in the meantime, Coach Micahl is holding it down at our 7 a.m. jiu-jitsu classes Monday through Friday. We have 6 a.m. Muay Thai Tuesday and Thursday.
Absolutely.
And then we have some pro action usually on Saturdays. So I get emails all the time. I want to move to Austin, join the team. And most of them are really, really friendly, and they make sense. If you're going to come here and like want to fight out of the Honor Academy, you can't just email me and say, "Hey, who do you have to fight? I want to come fight." You have to get to know us first. Like we're happy to train with you, but it's not. You don't just walk in the door and start sparring.
Damn.
You got to take class. I want to shake your hand a few times.
Gotta say hey.
Yeah, before we punch each other in the face.
Yeah.
And I don't punch anyone in the face anymore. I'm done with that.
I'll punch you in the face.
Micahl's there. But we got to definitely. If you want to just come down and fight, we'll probably just get Tim Kennedy on the phone.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Tim, there's a guy.
Good luck.
Or something like that. But no, that doesn't mean don't come to the Academy. That means just come down here, take class. We're all about having a good time. If you train in a way that is fun, you're going to train a lot longer. But if you're always training in a real intense, angry vibe, you won't want to do it all the time. So expect to have a good time, have a lot of fun when you come to the Honor Academy.
Hell yeah.
And in Micahl's class, probably a little more metal music, maybe a little more, I don't know, all kinds of variety. We do everything in my classes. Sometimes I just give up the music and let the students take over the DJing. It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of metal in that class.
Yeah, you wake up, walk into Micahl's class, and it is balls to the walls, kick some fucking ass at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
And then you go to work, and you're ready to kill everybody.
Good start to the day.
Absolutely.
I can't have it any other way.
So yeah, shout out to all the zombie squatters. Obviously, Rhodes has been there from day one at the zombie squad. Chauncey. Ryan Sims, where you at? Get back to class.
Yes, please. Come on down.
Who else? Micahl, dude, killing it all the time. Sarah's been there a lot, too. Yeah. Sarah. You guys check out the Instagram. And if you see someone not at class, be like, hey, where's that person? Hit them up, man. All you jiu-jitsu people out there, it's your responsibility to your school to hold your other students accountable. The professor cannot keep up with everybody if it's a big school. And there's not that. It's too hard. Unless they can't.
Especially if you enjoy them as a training partner.
Yeah, and if you want to improve your jiu-jitsu career, your jiu-jitsu experience, if you're a selfish bastard, still do it. Still reach out, call people, hit them up. Where you been? What's going on with your life? I guarantee it'll come back to serve you in the future. So do your school a favor, do your teammates a favor, do yourself a favor. And if you haven't seen a guy in a while, haven't seen a girl in a while, hit them up. Track them down on social media. Everyone's easy to find nowadays.
For sure.
Having said that, you're already on Facebook. You're already on your phone right now. Find somebody, say, hey, where you been? Or that person you've been wanting to join jiu-jitsu, hit them up. The other thing I always try to remind people, and maybe it's not just bring friends that you like. Maybe there's someone you can't stand. Bring them to jiu-jitsu, and then you can mount them, armbar them.
Yeah.
And then they'll probably never come back.
Just
but maybe you'll change their life and you'll end up liking them.
Yeah. Just hold that enemy close, train really hard for 6 months, then bring them in, and then dominate them.
There you go. That's the other option. Either way, bring people to class. Share jiu-jitsu with everyone is my message.
Hell yeah.
You got any messages? Oh, and Muay Thai. Muay Thai is the other
for sure
love of our lives.
Yeah.
And music.
Like I said, good music, good food, and the pursuit of the endless rabbit hole of martial arts. It's
a life well lived.
Wonderful journey. That's the
motto that you live by.
Yeah, it used to be just about the training, and it's really about the lifestyle. You gotta have the whole package.
The pursuit of something that's really unattainable, but you progress throughout the experience. Yep.
For sure.
Powerful experience, brother. I appreciate you coming and spending time with me.
Yeah, for sure, man. Anytime.
Look at the guns on that guy. All right, man. I thank you guys for listening to 10P ATX Radio. We'll be back very, very soon.
Word.
Oh.
I'll have to project.
We're good to go.
We hit the live button.